Okay, I'm going over the moves for the Russian First Army, and I do kind of want to quickly talk about my little cheat again because, gosh, it has lots of implications. I'm just thinking, like, for example, if you imagine if you had like a line of core HQs behind a river, that's free units, and oh my gosh, it just. Anyways, I'm going to mention this cheat or whatever on a couple of forums, and hopefully I don't get spanked when I mention it because I think if I actually started posting on proper forums for this game, I think the people that really play it properly or whatever would be like, "What are you doing? You're making a mockery of this game," and so on and so forth. But I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm just just doing my thing. I just love playing this game." Also, I'm another thing I'm learning as well. I guess also from just my background of role playing, like in role playing games and stuff. When I was a kid, is just clicking automatically with this game. I think it's also just due to the fact that the length of time I've been playing the game. Like, so for example, like when I switched over to the Russians, like even my mode of thinking uh, towards approaching like how I'm going about things is very different than I do with the Austrians. And I'm just like, wow, this is pretty cool. So I'm really happy. I'll give you right off the bat. When I started looking here, I'm like, okay, I've had enough. I guess what I'm saying is the frustration of dealing with the German cavalry. I mean, I've sent over, for crying out loud, 5 infantry divisions. This is nuts. I've had enough. Like it's gone from frustration to now anger. I'm just pissed off as the Russian commander. So I'm no longer going to play into their hands. Like, I don't know. Part of me is like, I just feel like these guys, like the German cavalry, are probably having a good laugh at night. They're along, around the campfire or whatever, because this is just ridiculous. So what I'm going to do now is rather than directly engage the German cavalry, I don't care what they do in some ways, obviously. The only time I'm ever going to care about what they do is if they affect lines of communication. That's it. Otherwise, I am not going to get suckered into this wild goose chase, which is exactly what's happening. And when I started looking here, trying to bolster up my forces, I'm like, I got nobody here. And I'm like, well, no kidding. You've sent 5 infantry divisions over to deal with these freaking 3 cavalry divisions. Like, what the heck? So that's no longer. So what I'm going to do is try to, I can't do it right away. Like I wanted to be able to get an infantry division right to this hex, obviously, because that would free up this supply transfer marker and I could bring it over. But I can't do that due to the fact that the combination of the river, forest, woods, sorry, and the zone of control kills the movement. I can't use column movement, right? So that's the way it goes. So I can get, anyways, I'm going to try to engage the cavalry here, which you're going to see in a minute, and then hopefully get them to wander off. I'm also doing, I guess, it's not cheating because technically, let's be honest, if I was playing another scenario like the Grand Campaign, for example, if I was doing the whole thing, there would be an extension to this map right here, right? And so technically this is hex 2301. So you're gonna see in a minute, I'm gonna move my infantry unit over to here as well to engage this cavalry, just to get them out of here, man. But after that, that's it, because my primary focus is not the cavalry, it's this rail line. So that way I can have a line of communication here, and then eventually I'm gonna free that one up as well. And whatever, man, like I just had enough. I'm just sick to death of yeah, I mean, basically they're dictating what I'm doing. And I'm like, no, I've had enough of that. Here we go. And yeah, it's not going to be too much, but because I can't really do much here until, oh, but here's the nice thing. At the very end of the Russian turn is those guys are going to get replaced. So the 30th Infantry Division will be at full strength. And look where they are. They're only a hex away from the front, which is just awesome. Mind you, I mean, I have to remind myself that yeah, you're a hex away from the front, and so is the first Army headquarters, the big boy. And I just dawned on me, and I've got nothing to deal. No, I was thinking maybe I should move. Oh yes, but I'm not using that dictum. Remember, I'm not using the Austrians are using the Borovich dictum. The Russians are doing something else. Because I did, just as I finished up all my movements, I was like, oh shoot. Because the coastline I was using, right, is a hard flank. And last turn, when the Germans attacked and forced the retreat here they've now opened up my right flank. Oh, darn it. I just don't have a lot of people. Not right now, but I will in a minute. Or, in another turn. But, yeah, I've got the 40th and the 28th. Should I move the 40th over to there? So that way I seal her up a little bit. Yeah, I think I should in the long run. The Germans can't be everywhere at once, right? So if they decide to attack here, then that means they can't attack there, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, unless they split the stack. And to be honest with you, I think you're allowed to in this game, stack splitting for attacks. I do not agree with that. I'm not playing with anybody else, right? So it doesn't matter. But in any game system, it drives me nuts. I do not agree with split stacking. Well, part of me is like, well, it's in a stack. That's the whole flipping point of having it in a stack, isn't it? Like, to me, it's like eating your cake and having it too, kind of thing, or whatever. I'm not into that. So that never happens in my games. Okay, if you're an opposing player and want to play that way with me, yeah, go for it. You can do what you want, but I personally don't do it. Anyways, let's shut up and get on with it here. So moving the 27th from 2202, yeah, these guys here to 2301, which I said is the fake hex. Well, it's real. It's just, I just don't have the map extension there. But there's nothing stopping me from doing it, right? So there we go. So that one's done, and hopefully there will be I will engage them, and hopefully they'll, just catch you later. But like I said, that's not my primary focus. The primary focus is that flipping rail line. So now I've got a line of communication kind of thing. So I'm happy with that. All right. So move the 29th from 2404. And I'm going to cross the Niemen to 2503. Yeah, that makes sense. Yet again, it's like I said, I can't get to that double rail line, which would be great because then off you go, supply transfer. But this is the next best thing I can do, really. I could have brought somebody there, it's like you might as well engage the freaking cavalry. Do a bit of both, right? So then I'm going to move. Now, see, this is where I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this nonsense. I'm now bringing these 3 infantry divisions back. So the 69th Reserve from 2706. And they're going to 2105 using column movement. 2105. And I'm kind of getting rid of that weird core HQ cheat thing I was saying, because I'm actually replacing them with an official unit, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I'm not using the core HQs to plug up a hole, even though technically, like I said, I could. And then I'm going to move the 51st to 2605, from 2605, sorry, to 2005, also using column movement. And yet again, that's getting rid of well, not a cheat, but, well, it is. And then I think the last one is I'm moving the Caucasian Grenadiers, and they're also going to 2005. So I've brought back 3 infantry divisions to the Prego River front. Super duper good. Oh gosh, I remember I did start entrenching here last turn. If I can, I swear to God, if I can keep that flippin' hex and get it entrenched, like turned into a trench, the Germans are gonna go nuts. That's going to be a real pain in the butt for them. But oh yeah, and I wanted to move the one of my infantry divisions over, so I might as well grab the first dude. Was that the 40th? Yeah. So we'll leave that here, and I'll remember that it's the half strength. Actually, I'll do this because after I film, I'll put a new half strength marker over there. I'm not happy. Obviously, I just cut my strength points in half there, but at least I've got somebody on the hex, and it's not like a freebie for them to start doing whatever the heck they want. yeah, I think that's it for the first army, and then I'm going to go off to the second.